Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Business, Life, and Other Bollocks. I'm your host, Mike Dunn. Today's guest, someone I'm incredibly proud of. She's also the co-founder of Moda-PR, and I think I speak for everyone when I say she's probably a PR powerhouse in her industry. She's also she's also responsible for changing laws, I believe.
Thank you.
I'm delighted to welcome to the show today Jennifer Delgado. Jen, welcome to the show.
Very much.
How are you?
Hot.
Oh, it is hot, isn't it?
No, I'm all right. Quite
Good.
cool in here.
Jen, obviously I know a lot about what you do, but for those listening, tell everyone what it is Moda-PR do.
Well, so Moda-PR, we work with people. We're people personal PR agency. So we work with experts, entrepreneurs, and people within the entertainment industry.
Right. Okay.
So whether you're CEO, founder, expert, celebrity, someone in the entertainment industry, we always say, whether you've stepped out of a boardroom or you're going on to I'm a celeb, we can
Mm.
help you.
And I'm right in thinking that PR wasn't always where you worked, was it?
No, not I didn't always work in PR. I've had a few jobs from barmaid to working in the construction industry to working at Airbus. I mean, it's been a variety. Yeah, it's not always been, I think, what everybody sees on Instagram, which again is not what
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reality it is. But
What was the reason for the change? What made you want to get into this industry?
well, I think, and I think Ash will vouch for this as well. We had, even though we didn't know each other at the time, we had like very similar, I think, outlooks and journeys on. I guess sometimes we didn't really know what PR was. Like in my head when I was growing up, I didn't really know what the term PR was. But I think everything that I loved, throw back to like The Hills, Ellie Catrone, the Katie and Peter Andre series where Claire Powell is in it, like that kind of, that being around, that, I want to say chaos because I feel like it is chaos a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But being around that kind of just environment and the entertainment side especially, I was really drawn to.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't I think it was just something that's in me. I'm definitely a people person.
Mm.
I'm not somebody that is good at being chained to my desk
No.
24/7. And I think PR, when I kind of really did a deep dive into, okay, that's what that is,
Yeah, yeah.
that really just kind of started to click. I was like, yeah, okay, maybe this is
Yeah, yeah.
something I could go into.
The only
And
desk
then
you'd be chained to is at bar lounge anyway, isn't it? Really.
yeah, says the person that's booked in there at 5 o'clock. So
You think you're out of business about you.
they really would have got married then.
So obviously, we've done a bit of work with you guys in the past, and you are right. People person is definitely what the phrase I would use, because you stepped into the role as our head of people and culture at one point, didn't you? And
Yeah.
that was a massive change, wasn't it? But you
Yeah.
really threw yourself into that, as you believed in that.
Yeah.
With regards to sort of like clients you're working with and what you're looking for, you've used the red flag, the time wasters, the dickheads. What is what is for you when you know someone is going to be a dickhead or a time waster?
I mean, I think there is a lot of like gut feeling, like you sense it. And I can sense that. And so definitely Ash can from, I would say, the initial meeting,
Mm.
sometimes even the email.
Yeah.
Like, and I think we've got better at spotting definitely the time wasters,
Mm.
and our business looked very different when we started to what it does
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So probably our definition of a time waster back then is completely different to what it is now. But
Mm.
in terms of what it is now, it is people that don't really have a goal, don't really know what they want.
Yeah.
They come to us. One of our biggest bugbears is, I just want to like get in the press or just want to be a bit famous, and we just think get out. Like we're just not. There's no interest in that for us because being a bit famous or getting a bit of press, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
No.
It's transparent.
And I think as well now, with regards to like getting in the press or getting famous, the social media now is
Mm.
at people's fingertips, and it can almost be a bit of laziness.
Yeah.
You can do it yourself if you want, can't you?
Yeah.
You could easily pay for a blue tick, and you could easily start paying to do this and that, but it's laziness. So when people come to you and they say, "I want to get in the paper," that must be like a fucking
It's like a red rag to a bull.
yeah, yeah. But you are responsible though for some incredibly powerful stories that have been shared, haven't you, recently?
Yeah, definitely. We've definitely
Not
worked.
just recently, sorry, but I mean in the 6 and a bit years you've been going.
Yeah, 100%. We've worked on some incredible campaigns. Sharon Gaffiger's
Mm,
campaign that we did with her when she first came out of the Love Island villa. You know, she came out second, and traditionally back then, you know, with Love Island, if you came out second or third, if you weren't really, I would say, in the finals,
mm,
and I think that's what it is now, really. But
mm,
I think the early ones, people would forget about you. But
mm,
Sharon came out second, and there was just something about her that straight away.
mm.
I remember talking to Ash and just saying that she's just a bit special. Like, you know, I think she's got something. She's got substance, and she knows what
Mm.
she wants to do. You know.
Is there in your profession, is there a difference between someone who wants to get famous for the sake of it and someone that wants to get famous because they've physically got something they need to share?
Yeah.
And do you pick up on that quite quickly?
Yeah, because I think sometimes the people that do become famous for good reasons and for, like Sharon, for example, and
Mm,
Georgia Harrison and people, they didn't necessarily want to become famous to be famous.
mm,
They were, you know, kind of thrust into
yeah.
these things with probably very different intentions. Whereas people are going online to try and go viral and try
Mm,
and be on TikTok sensations, and that's great. But there's a very big difference between being a household name famous and being
mhm.
TikTok famous for 10 minutes.
Is there a particular social media that you tell people is a no? Like, would you say that isn't right for you, or is there one in particular you just don't like at all?
It depends who you are.
Mm,
You know, if you're a CEO expert, for example, of, you know, like we've got a client at the moment that is incredibly well known in the construction and public sector. I wouldn't be telling him to go and dance to Doja Cat on TikTok. You know what I mean? But his his platform is LinkedIn. Like
yeah, yeah,
that's where we want to push him more out, and
yeah, yeah,
like new media, like Substack and things like that.
yeah.
Whereas, yeah, I wouldn't be telling everybody to go on TikTok. But then, for example, like big TikTokers or you know people like GK Barry, for example, would be telling her necessarily to go be posting on LinkedIn. You know, it's just
Yeah,
not
yeah.
her medium.
And do you have to when you sit down with people at the start, do you have to, like, come up with that strategy? Like, or do you expect them to have some sort of vision, or do you prefer when they
Yeah.
haven't got a vision and you can, like, literally
No,
start from
I think you have to have some kind of vision and control over, you know, we always say we can do so much. So we have what's called like our ecosystem, which is
mm,
so you've got personal PR in real life moments or IRL moments, as we like to abbreviate,
yeah,
and social media.
yeah,
And I think one thing that we've definitely seen in the last 2 years is that social media is something that you need to be having a grip on.
mm,
You know, we can give you recommendations and we can help you like tweak little bits, but realistically, if you want to be known in your field, if you want to be
yeah,
up there with the likes of the top experts and the creators, you've got to have a grip on that yourself.
yeah,
And the way the media is now, if you haven't got that following, it becomes very different.
mm,
Sorry, difficult
mm,
to get you that traction. Doesn't
mm,
matter what it is, even booking you on podcasts now.
mm,
Podcasts are a business.
yeah, yeah,
So if you haven't got that social following or you haven't got something to give them
yeah, yeah,
for their audience, then you might as well kiss goodbye to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We've worked with people that have businesses that are in the tens of millions, and because they've had no social presence, they're digital ghosts, as we call them.
yeah, yeah,
It doesn't make any difference. It's like,
yeah,
you know, we've been pitching them into podcasts, and Ash has got a really great screenshot that we show at talks all the time, which it says, you know, "Hi Ash, thanks for your email. Transparently, we're looking for guests with higher social followings." And that is literally like smack bang the reality of what we're dealing with.
mm,
So I think, yeah, having that social part of whoever you are, like, locked in, I think that has to be your responsibility, as it is for us as business owners. We have to really focus on our LinkedIn. We're doing a lot more video content now, hence
mm.
why I'm sat here with you. Do you know, we are just putting ourselves out there more, and I think, especially as a founder of a business, if you're not doing that, you're
Yeah, yeah,
doing yourself a disservice.
100%.
Mm,
Obviously, I'm not in your industry, but you know yourself, I'm always been quite present on LinkedIn. I
mhm.
try and post every day or every other day, and I've noticed recently that the likes have gone down, but the business inquiries have gone up.
Yeah, because you're probably posting more intentionally.
Yeah,
Your strategy, like, that's exactly what we did. You know, we very openly say, you know, we did kind of sleep on LinkedIn a little bit in the
mm,
beginning. It was there, but you know, it's only through I think trial and error and kind of realizing and you know, seeing how the landscape has shifted. But
mm.
for us, absolutely, like LinkedIn is something. LinkedIn, I check first thing in the morning before my Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that is just the shift that I'm in.
Well, I've always believed that LinkedIn will make you money, and Facebook and Instagram will cost you money because it's time, and it's doom scroll, isn't it? You're just sitting there
Yeah,
scrolling through reels, and some reels are fucking hilarious, but
yeah,
a lot of it is a waste of time. So I suppose for you guys, if you're dealing with someone that's come out of Love Island and they want to change their lifestyle, they want to do, then yeah, you would probably say if you want to do that, then LinkedIn's the way forward. But if you want to stick to the other way of it, then your Instagram and your TikTok is the way to go.
I think again, it just depends on the client. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
for example, I'll use Sharon again, but she obviously does a lot of she is a Violence Against Women and Girls campaigner, but she works a lot in politics. She
yeah,
works a
yeah.
lot now.
She's done
As,
incredible.
she's amazing, and I think for her, her platform is on socials, obviously to show that lifestyle side of her. But
Yeah,
LinkedIn is where a massive amount of her audience lives. I mean, just think about the people who are going to book her for these corporate jobs, the people that
mm,
want her on the news. Like these people are like, journalists are living on LinkedIn now.
yeah, yeah,
So where they may have found you 2 years ago looks very different now.
yeah, 100%. Obviously, you've spoken about that there, but I wanted to go right back to the start of your journey because it is incredible, right? We started similar times. It was in lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2020.
2020. Think think I remember when we spoke when kind of lockdown hit and we were in the gardens. We had plans to do like all this fancy shit together.
Yeah,
We did do bits, but I don't think we never got the chance to really fulfill it.
yeah,
And I think at the time, this was before Ash came on board, wasn't it?
yeah.
Um, and we remember you were at home, you had your laptop on a desk,
Yeah.
and you really threw yourself into it, didn't you?
I just kind of felt like I'd reached that point where I thought, I've got fucking nothing else to lose.
Exactly.
And I thought, I can't. And it was that, it is, however cliche it does sound, it's like it was that pandemic shift mentality where I thought, oh my God, is the world going to end and I'm going to go back and sit in that office? Absolutely fucking not.
Mm,
Um, I just thought, give it a go.
mm,
Give it a go. You've always wanted to work for yourself. So just give it a go. And if it doesn't work out,
mm,
it doesn't work out. And Jack just said, God bless him. He said, listen, I'll support you
mm.
for a few months, like just see how you get
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
And it just escalated really quickly.
yeah,
Thank God it did.
yeah,
And yeah, I just had this gut feeling and I couldn't let it go. And
yeah,
I think a lot of people that end up working for themselves
yeah.
will say that as well.
100%. I am with you on that. Like I had when we started at home, we we were literally in the back room, and then COVID hit. No funding. It was like you ain't getting anything, mate. You've been
Mm.
going for 3 months, so it's like shit. And I did actually. I don't really like admitting it, but I went to TikTok because
Yeah.
it was like the only thing people were doing. It was like sitting
To
in the
be fair,
garden.
you did have a good stint on it. It was great.
Hey, I've still got all my
Yeah.
followers. Like I've still got my followers, but the videos are gone.
Yeah.
The only I think Scarlett's found a few of them and she shows them to her friends. And I'm like, please, for the
Yeah.
fucking love of God, do not show them the Carol Baskin videos
Oh
and
my
shit. Like,
God.
oh
Yeah.
fucking hell! But at the time, life was different,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Everything was different
Very
back in
different.
2020. But with throwing yourself into it and things escalating, something I think there was a point for you, wasn't it, when you went, this is getting too much. And obviously, it's in the title of this episode.
Mm.
Tell everyone about the toilet situation
Oh
on your
God.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Because I think personally, I think this is a real an example of an oh shit moment of fuck, this is really spiraling. But then also how you, I think that it was a changing point for you, wasn't it?
It was definitely a changing point for a few reasons.
Mm,
It was a changing point for me where I kind of was realizing, like, shit, I really need to like check my fucking boundaries because it's a Saturday night. I'm answering a call at 10 o'clock at night when it's my anniversary dinner with my then boyfriend, who's now my husband. But, that's something that's special. It doesn't matter how long you're together. An anniversary dinner, like to me, it's
yeah,
like, and Jack was sat there at the table while I was taking this completely unnecessary call. Wasn't an emergency, it was nothing.
mm,
And because I just didn't have
mm,
the boundaries in place to go, oh, I can leave that till Monday.
mm,
That was just scary. Like that was when I thought, "Ooh, God, okay, I'm my availability being 24/7, that isn't a flex. Like that's really not. And
and I think a lot of people need to
yeah,
understand it because similar to you, and I can relate to this. I had moments when I I was with my wife and at the time we only had Scarlett, and I'd be taking calls at the dinner table, and I'd be thinking, "What the fuck am I doing?"
yeah,
And I read a story that a Bear Grylls wife said to him. She said, "You the camera gets your best, and we get the leftovers."
yeah.
And when I read that, I thought, right, that's
That's so true.
that's fucking that, and it really did hit home. And I think there's a lesson there because I think yourself and me, because of the time the businesses were started, we had to throw everything into it. But when you do that, you become like a fucking punch bag for everyone.
Yeah,
Oh, I'll go to Jen. Oh, she'll answer the phone. Oh, she'll do this. That doesn't fucking matter.
yeah,
When it can wait, right?
yeah,
And that hustle, that oh, it's 24/7. It's fucking yeah. Okay, elements of what you do as a business owner,
Yeah.
any business at the start, it is like 9 to 5 is like where you working with clients, and then your 5 to 9 is where you're working on the business.
Mm.
But it's not fucking going to go anywhere, is it?
I'm going to say something quite controversial
Well, go
now,
on.
though.
Go on.
I wouldn't have changed it.
No.
And I wouldn't, I don't think, I think this hustle culture, and I think Emma Greed said it, and I know she's got shit for it, so whatever, I'm probably going to get it
Who's
too,
that?
but
Sorry.
Emma Greed, Skins CEO.
Oh,
I'll send you the link. But she said it recently, and it does make, she said, it's all I've ever known. And I do get that.
Mm,
Like, I think for me and Ash, like, we're best mates, we run the business,
mm,
socialize together. I think to ask us to switch off at 5 p.m. and
yeah.
start at 9 in the morning is completely unrealistic. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying it works for everybody
Yeah.
because it doesn't. And there has been times when we are absolutely knackered. But I, I do think that is just part of the territory of
Yeah.
being a business owner. Would I sometimes like to switch my laptop off and just get my paycheck at the end of the month? Maybe, but that lasts
Yeah.
about 30 seconds. And then I think,
Well,
no.
so Sarah, the guest we had on this, we were talking about this, and I said to her, sometimes I wish I could just have my sandwiches, clock off at 5 and fuck off home and forget about everything.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen.
Never.
The only thing now I do literally refuse to do is I feel like a bit of a shit at times because when my daughter was growing up and the business was started, I used to like just go and lock myself away. Whereas now I refuse to do that.
Yeah, and I
Like,
get that.
I think that it's that moment of growing up almost and going, right, I've got this email. They're not in the office now, but when my son goes to bed, when I played with him and I've actually given him my best,
Yeah.
I can put that together and send it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Because you've got to work on your business after
Yeah.
after 5, right? You have to work on it.
Yeah.
But then you have to work in it. So
Yeah.
there's a balance, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one thing that me and Ash definitely do,
Mm.
during the working hours, 100%. And even obviously, a lot of nights it's afterwards. But yeah, we're very good at, okay, like that's not urgent. Listen, I can schedule that for the morning or I can do that. Someone emails me at 8 o'clock asking me a question that is not urgent. Yeah, I'm not answering it. But in terms of the working on the business, yeah, me and Ash will be talking all night on, oh my God, I just had this idea, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't think that is, I wouldn't class that as like hustle culture. I would just class that as being two frigging women that don't want to work for anybody else ever
Yeah,
again
yeah.
in their lives. And I
100%.
think you can't work 9 to 5 and build a business of your dreams and a life that you want
Yeah.
and expect that you're going to do that without putting in that
Yeah.
extra work. And I think I'm more than listen, no kids, got Jack, got the bulldog. I've got nothing else really. That sounds not nothing else, but
Oh, yeah, no, your commitments aren't as stretched as other people's.
no,
So your time can be spent more. And I'm completely with you. And me and Sean, we work together.
yeah,
So naturally, it's not like I text her,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got an idea, and 9 times out of 10 she goes, oh, fuck's sake, what
Yeah.
now? Because my brain, with the ADHD side of it, because it just doesn't switch off, I'm constantly thinking, like when the podcast come around, I was like, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's like that moment of, fuck, am I going too fast here?
yeah,
Because I'm scared of that burnout, because I've hit rock bottom with business before,
yeah,
and I never want to get there again.
yeah.
So-
We definitely have as well, and I think we've learned how to, I think, manage it a little bit better as well. I think for us, like Ash loves her, like she actually puts it in the diary, like her quality Ash time, like weekends she'll block out, she's doing fuck all, she's watching a watch
Yeah.
list. Same thing for me. I'll sit there, Jack will go play football, whatever. And if someone asks me to do something, it's a no, why?
Yeah,
Because I actually don't want to. I just want to go through my Netflix list
yeah.
or read my books or, do. And I think
Yeah.
but that has come from years of having that kind of, oh, fuck, I'm absolutely exhausted. Like I'm burnt out. Like,
Yeah.
I need to learn how to kind of balance the time as well. And I think we do that now,
Yeah.
we do, but it's,
I mean, it's so hard to try and find that balance. You just said it yourself. You can't have the business and the freedom without putting in the sacrifices.
no, of course not.
And that's the thing, like, if you're working for money and you're building a business for money, then great. But for me, Sean said it to me, it's about the freedom
Yeah.
to have a day off, to
Yeah.
be able to go where you want, to go for dinner at 5 and not have someone say you're not booking, taking a
Yeah.
holiday.
Well,
To
for
be able
us,
to-
we go and get our hair done at 11 o'clock in the salon. We've got our laptops.
Exactly.
But
I can't do that with making calls and telemarketing.
yeah, well, yeah, that's it. But I couldn't have done that in my old
Yeah.
job.
No,
It was
could just
barely, it was like give you a blood sample if you want to go to the bloody. Is
yeah.
it a
Well,
dentist appointment?
well,
Right?
you were in construction, right? You were quantity surveyor,
No, no, I was in customer care in
right?
one of the biggest house builders in the country.
And your dad was a sales director there, wasn't
Still is,
he? He's
yeah,
still a
yeah,
sales
he's
director.
great, yeah.
So do you think being in that male-driven, macho sort of fucking environment has pushed you to be the way you are, like more? Because I do admire the way you and Ash have ran the business, right? In the sense of you've kept it small,
Mm.
you've never stretched yourselves. Something I had to learn, by the way. When you told me that, I was like, well, I need to, and it's the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
But do you think coming from that background, a very masculine sort of men, sort of lads, has put you where you are now in the sense of you going, no, 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 I'm going to do it my fucking way.
No, I
No?
think it was always like that anyway. I,
Yeah, I'm going to.
yeah, I'm generally, I'm gonna cough again.
Sorry. Go on.
I'm very comfortable around men.
Mm.
Like I've never, I never walked into one of those rooms thinking any of them were better than me.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely not. No. Was it a little bit intimidating? Yeah, but maybe a little bit because my dad was above me and I thought, shit, I've got to do this right. Otherwise my dad's going to like, what the
yeah,
fuck? So no, in the male thing was never a thing for me. I've grown
yeah.
up surrounded by lads. I was in a friendship group when I was younger and I was the only girl and there was three lads and I was the boss. Do you know what I mean? So
Sounds like my daughter.
well, that's it. I've never had an issue being around men.
Yeah.
I think what it did do, if anything, actually, it kind of made me realize that I could deal with difficult and different environments that are so out of my comfort zone and so far
Mm.
away from maybe where I thought I would be. Because, before I went to work in that job, I'd also done an internship in talent management years before. So
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
gone from like celebrity to construction back to like celebrity now. So it's, it doesn't, yeah, it never, I don't think that really contributed, but it definitely gave me a lot of, I would say, skills.
Mm.
Yeah.
With regards to that celebrity side,
Mm.
is there a difference between celebrity and influencer?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, influencer, I don't really like the word influencer
Mm.
anymore. It's more, we'd probably categorize them as creators now,
Mm-hmm.
creators and celebrity. But then, it's such a blurred line now
Mm.
that the differentiation between one or the other.
Mm.
For example, you've got people like Grace Beverley, who is an incredible entrepreneur, like
Mm.
incredible businesswoman, but she is a creator. She's a
Mm.
podcast host. She is,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
everything. And I think that's, especially for us over the last 2 years, we started off the business in brand. Don't forget, like we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
working with brands heavy.
Yeah.
And we started seeing about 2-3 years in, about 3 years ago now, it was, the founders of these businesses are where it's at. People, that's where
Mm.
they're interested in.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's taken, I think, a while for people to kind of catch on in the last 2 years or so.
Yeah.
But we saw it years ago. I think when that's the real thing for us that really transformed our business when we were like,
Mm.
actually, fuck brand.
Yeah.
Like we want to work with people because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what we're good at. And once we really we had the balls to say, no more brand, just people.
Yeah.
That flipped it for us.
But that's so admirable though that you were able to pivot, and because it's so hard. So if you like us, we were always telemarketing,
Mm.
just telemarketing, and then we said actually we could fucking do some recruitment as well. Oh, actually we could do that as well. So rather than us trying to have one form of stream of revenue,
Mm.
we sort of said, well, we can diversify a bit.
Yeah.
So we brought in different ways of working. But for you guys, you were focused on brand, and you've gone. It works to an extent, but the people behind the brand,
Yeah.
or who you want to work with.
Yeah.
Because I suppose when you work with us, I used to say to you all the time, shit, Jen, we're a telemarketer agency, you're working with fucking celebrities over there. And you'd be like, we're not bothered by that. We're
Yeah.
bothered by the
Mm.
people behind the company and
Yeah.
where they want to get to. And you did some incredible work for us. And I always say to people, Moda, because what I love about you guys is you're not asked about, you will listen to where people want to go and you won't shoot it down,
No.
but you'll always advise.
Yeah. Well, and Ash always uses, and it's the best analogy ever. It's like Kim Kardashian. She said she wanted to be on, was it American Vogue? Cosmo, that's it. She wanted to be the cover of Cosmo. And the publicist at the time said, I think you basically need to rein it in. And she was the cover of K9 magazine at the time, which is like a dog magazine. And now she's been on every single cover you can imagine.
Mm.
Like we always say, we're not going to sit on your dream. Absolutely not. But what we are going to do is we're going to help you get there properly.
Mm.
We're not going to say to you, you come and join us on Monday. By Thursday, we're going to be talking to British folk. That's
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. We're realistic, and
Yeah.
we're not we're not gonna take your money if
Mm.
we don't think that we can help you either.
Yeah, and I've noticed you with your posts, you're very honest about that as
Yeah.
well, and I like that because, look, from an outsider looking in, you see, maybe it's the algorithm, I see a lot of PR companies coming up, and it seems like there's been a culture change, but do you girls still find that there's still a bit of a toxic or is there a toxic way that your industry? Because I know in ours is it's terrible.
I mean, I wouldn't say toxic to that extent. I think there's definitely listen, in any industry, there's gonna be bad apples, 100%,
Mm,
like, there is, and there are, there have been instances in our industry where and I would say it's more so in the celebrity space, where people will pay publicists to maybe tell a story in one way, and it's not it's the money grab, basically, it's a
mm,
money grab. It's not thinking of the client and their due diligence. It's not thinking of the best way to tell their story for them,
mm,
not for the quickest way that it can get out there.
mm,
We did the Aurea Duba campaign recently, and that was one strategic long form podcast, one interview on TV with Lorraine, and it was smaller interviews with the Times and Men's Health because he wanted to really, really get through to the right audience. Now, if that would have been somebody else, they could have just taken that to a splashy tabloid, maybe got a few grand for the fee of it,
mm,
and it would have been everywhere. It was everywhere anyway, but in
mm,
the best ways, and it was told through his lens and in the right way.
mm.
But yeah, I think there are times where, you know, there are people that are doing it for the wrong reasons, 100%. But I think you've got that in any industry. It
100%.
doesn't matter where you are. Like, I just think sometimes in our industry, PR sometimes does get a bad rap because the amount of times that people have come to us and said, "Oh God, I've been burnt by my last agency," and it's like, can't take that baggage into your next relationship. If
I
you
like
took
that.
that baggage into every next,
Yeah, yeah.
treat it like a bad ex. Like, just leave it be.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
it go.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Let
We
it
we get
go.
it now, like I say, with what we do, we're telemarketing. We took it out of our entire branding because people were going, "Oh, fucking telemarketing, you'll call me while I'm watching The Chase at home."
It's a bit of a trigger word, I
Yeah, oh,
think.
mate,
Yeah.
you see people go into like a fucking cold shot. "Oh my god, the telemarketers, they're coming to get me." It's like, we're not
Yeah.
here to sell you insurance, but we took it away, and it's the best thing we ever fucking did.
Yeah.
Because now people say the word lead generation, they're like, "Oh my god, you're the saving fucking grace. You're the lead generators." It's like, it was the same fucking thing.
Yeah. You just package it
It's just
differently.
package it differently.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, you get people saying, "Oh, the last telemarketing interviews, they were terrible. They promised us, they guarantee." The word guarantee, fuck it, honestly.
It's the same in our industry, don't worry.
"Oh, well, they guarantee me this." Okay. Do you? Because I always say that cheap is easy, but results and quality are not that easy to find.
Pay cheap, pay twice.
Yeah, exactly,
Mm.
exactly. And we had a competitor, which I won't go into much detail. He put a big post up saying, "Pay peanuts, get monkeys," when we first set up because I was on my own.
Yeah, of
So I
course.
didn't have to fucking charge an arm and a leg. But because I beat your client, he was like, "Oh, you," and we've still got the tweet up in our office
Oh,
now.
is that the framed one?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's an example of where we've come from, and
Yeah.
now we've surpassed them, and we do charge more, and yeah, we do, but we don't just have one package, but you've got to move with the fucking
And
times.
as is your right, by the way. Like, when me and Ash first started, we were charging £500 a month per client.
Yeah,
Like, we wouldn't get out of bed for that now.
yeah.
And that's not me being pompous.
No, no,
Like, we've earned the right to
100%.
charge that. And also we've got overheads. We're a business. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I cannot charge you £500
Well,
because that's what one of my pieces of software costs.
we we
Idiot.
we had it the other day where someone said, "Oh, they've halved your proposal." I said, "Right." And they said, "Can you match it?" I said, "Right, let's just scale this back." I said, "That means their running cost
It's
is..."
not bookings.com.
Yeah, and I was like, "So that means that their running costs per day are less than £100."
Yeah.
And he went, "I see what you mean." I went, "Right." I said, "Every business has a running cost." I went, "And we have to make sure everyone is being covered, not just people on the phone, the national insurance, the pensions." So I said, "No,
No.
I'm not going to match it." I was like, "If you want to go with them," they've come on board with us because it came to fruition. They were just
Yeah.
going to outsource it to somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's that meeting someone, and we're the same as you.
Yeah.
We used to work with fucking anybody. "Oh my god, it's them. We got to go and work with them. Get them on board. Lower the costs. Just get them on board. Whatever it takes." Now I'm like, "No, fucking no chance,
No. No,
no
absolutely
chance."
not.
And we walked away from a client recently because he was micromanaging and he was fucking on the phone every 5 minutes. I'm like, "Mate, this isn't how this works. We're a
Yeah.
we're a business driven by quality, and everyone if they're paying for a service, they of course want to see results
Yeah.
because your industry it is results driven, isn't it? In an aspect of
It
like where you
is
want to
in
get
a
people's
certain way, but one thing that similar to you is like the word guarantee. Like I hate it. I
mate.
hate it. Like we cannot guarantee. I can't guarantee from one day to the next what the news cycle is going to do. It is chaotic. When the Queen died, for example, R.I.P. Like me and Ash were in New York, and that morning so before we got on the plane, we knew that there was going to be a client that was on the rain,
Mhm.
and there was a client with a Grazia exclusive article coming out.
Mm.
By the time we landed and we realised the Queen had died, that obviously article did not go out, and the
Mhm.
rain was not covering anything other than the Queen dying.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I can't guarantee. Like how would I have guaranteed that? Like you just can't. It's mental, and I
yeah,
think that when it comes back to like the toxicity of people in our industry, it's when I see that really grinds
yeah. I've
me.
seen you
Guaranteed
spoke
PR,
about that before.
guaranteed PR.
Yeah,
Like if anyone tells you that, like run, like Forrest Gump, like
yeah,
run,
yeah.
run, run, because you can't.
No, we get it.
You can't.
We got go. So we had a client that came on board with us a few years ago. They were with another competitor, and this competitor guaranteed them 3 to 4 results a day in a very, very fucking hard target audience.
Yeah,
And he said, if you can put guarantee in the proposal, I'll sign off. I went, first of all, the only guarantee you're getting is transparency
yeah.
and quality. Results, I can't guarantee. I said, can you guarantee me that there's going to be record breaking summers next year? No, you can't.
No. Do
I
we have a
did-
clause in our contract that says it as well? Yeah.
you can't, you can estimate. Yeah, I can estimate what people do based on what C person did or say person did, but every campaign is different. Like everyone you work with is different, right?
100%, but you get the vibe. So recently, like we worked with Charlotte Crosby, like she's incredible
Yeah,
to
that's
work
an
with.
amazing
She
piece of work that is, by
well,
the way.
she came to us and she said, "This is what I want to do." It was very clear in like the story that she wanted to tell, and straight away, like we were on the same page and
Mm,
we had that vibe with it. And I was like, right, yeah, so this is where I'm going to go. This is what I'm going to do, and I can't see why. And I always say, based on previous experience
mm,
of what we've done before, I cannot see why they wouldn't want to take the story,
mm,
but I always have to make you aware that we might not. We always might need to pivot,
mm.
but that's the way it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. We're working with Alfie at the moment. I took
Oh,
challenge,
yeah.
which is
I love that.
amazing. But originally we said, let's try go for this morning. He wanted to go on this morning. And this morning didn't really want to take it at that
Yeah, yeah.
point. So we went to Good Morning Britain instead, who we work with a lot and who are fantastic. And
Yeah,
it's been
yeah.
the best thing ever.
Yeah,
They're doing regular check-ins now with him across the month. Like
yeah, yeah.
the coverage that he's getting off the back of that is
Yeah.
probably more valuable.
When you get these oh, you alright?
Yeah, God, got a tickly throat.
When you get these people on board, Alfie, Charlotte Crosby, these guys, what's the process of bringing them on? Like, is it you? Do they reach out to you? Do you go to them? Do you meet them at shows? Like, how?
It can depend. We met Charlotte at a BAFTA event with Intertalent, another talent agency they work with a lot. They're great.
Mm,
It could be a cold email. Ore came to us in our info at inbox. Sharon was referred to my talent manager at the time.
mm,
George the same. We work now with such a lot of talent agencies that they get used to our style. They know who we are. So Alfie, for example, we worked with Chloe, his manager, on a previous client,
mm.
and she just knew our style, sent us away, and it's been great. So very, very different. And then sometimes, me and Ash, like we will cold outreach as well for people that we really, really want
Mhm,
to work with. Yeah, why not? Shoot your shot.
yeah, absolutely.
And there's nothing better, I think, for us than reaching out to a talent agent or a talent and telling them generally how much that they love their work and they want to work with them because that is genuine.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not from a place of bullshit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we
yeah.
really, really we wouldn't reach out to you otherwise. So
Yeah, no,
I
it's
think there's a few ways.
yeah. What and for you guys being in this industry, is there a particular load of bollocks that you see from competitors and you think, "For fuck's sake, here we go."
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say bollocks. I'd probably say, well, when I say bollock, maybe some pricing that we always come against, but that's necessarily because sometimes we come up against, especially in the celebrity space, a lot of freelancers, and we're not like we're classed as an agency, so
Mm,
we have bigger overhead business
yeah, yeah.
costs opposed to a freelancer would. So a
Mm,
freelancer can charge less than we can, which sometimes we do lose out, especially in the celebrity space, to
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But it is a hard pill to swallow sometimes, especially when you really love that talent that they've got, or something. Like it is. But and this is something that's taken a a long time to be comfortable with and say it after my confidence crisis last year. But I always know that cream rises to the top. And I don't mean that in a cocky way, but I think if people want to work with us and we've quoted them a fee that is too expensive for them, so they've gone elsewhere, that's fine.
Mm,
Let them, because they might come back. And if they do, then great. And we've
mm.
had that before where, we've quoted people and they go, oh, it's a bit expensive. Well, okay. Sorry, can't do anything
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you. And then they come back because they've gone to a lesser or gone to a cheaper, maybe like a day rate thing, which is something that we just don't do.
Mm,
And they come back and it works. And
yeah.
then there's that kind of understanding then, there's that education. And I'm not gonna lower our fees to £500 a month. I'm not gonna do that. So we're probably not the right fit for you.
Yeah,
But for
yeah.
the right people that are willing to pay our fees, then that's fine.
Well, what's the one industry you guys love working in most? Like,
Ooh.
what's the sector that you love? Like, what's your, "Oh, I know this is really gonna get me going." If that fucking makes sense.
To be honest, I wouldn't necessarily say there's a specific sector. We love working with founder creators,
Mm,
definitely. I think that's such an incredible and exciting market because I feel like over the last, I mean, you've got people like your Stephen Bart's and things who've been around forever with the personal brand, but some really, really great brands now that are with the founders at the helms who
mm,
are incredible creators as well. And I think that's a great space to be in. Celebrity space, yeah, I absolutely love. I do
mhm,
love working in that space. And I love the kind of like new genre of creators that are coming through as well.
mm.
Like, we've just been in discussions with a book talk creator
Alright.
who she's great. She talks a lot about like that thriller concept and,
Mm.
from book to film adaptations and might sound a bit niche, but my God, there's a market for it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
there's a genuine interest from me and Ash as well. Like Ash is like horror film girly. I'm thriller
Yeah.
girly. We love
Girl of my
reading
own
our
art, yeah.
books. Like so yeah, I wouldn't say there's one specific sector, but definitely one type of person that we like to work
Yeah, yeah.
with. Yeah.
What w if it so you're saying then about horror films, I suppose if you had the opportunity to, like, work with, like, that guy that's just made Obsession,
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
like, the next hot property.
Yeah.
He's done, like, he's made, like, 20 horror films. He was a YouTube creator, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He was just a YouTuber, and, like, he's turned into this new horror director, and everyone wants to work with him. So I suppose
Yeah.
would that be something that you would absolutely love to
Oh,
work with?
absolutely. We could get right stuck in there. Yeah.
Make it work.
Yeah,
Shoot your
absolutely.
shot.
And I think one thing for us as well that we really put an emphasis on is we want to work with people if they're called talent, want them
Mm,
to have talent, and I'm
mm.
quite pig-headed about that. I'm not going to say like, I just think if you're going to call yourself a talent, have talent.
But you're right. I don't think it's a
Yeah.
big anything. You're right to say that.
Yeah.
What is it? What are you looking to gain from it, I
Yeah.
suppose?
Yeah.
Can I ask you something quite personal?
Well,
I know you went through quite a bit. What's been the hardest time you've had in being a founder yourself?
I think probably last year when there was a time when I thought, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Mm,
And that was the first time in years that I'd felt like that. But I was scared because I thought, first of all, if I say this to Ash, what's she going to do? Because it's not just me.
yeah, yeah,
We have a responsibility for each other. It's 50-50. And it's
yeah,
like, if one person's feeling like shit, then the likelihood is definitely at that time that the other person probably was as well.
yeah,
We
yeah.
got very similar vibes. But yeah, I think last year, and it wasn't just us, I'm quite pleased to say, in a horrible, everybody was going through it in our industry. And I think people just in the economy in general, any
Mm,
business owner we talked to,
mm.
like, was going through it the last 12 months.
2025 was a thunder cunt of a year.
Yeah. It was the hardest year for us on record.
We
Yeah.
literally and it's mad. I seem to speak to a lot of people. It last year, like I feel you there. Like we genuinely had moments last year when even Sean say we just become parents again,
Mm.
and there was times when we looked at each other and said, I don't know if I can do this anymore."
Oh, yeah.
And it's the and like you say, when you're involved with someone else,
Mm.
you then got to take that. But then on the flip side of it, that person brings you through it as well.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, and I think, Jack lives with me, obviously, sees
He's a
everything, and
lovely lad, Jack.
he's great. And you know what? It is true what they say, who you end up with and who you marry
Correct.
makes such an impact on your business.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
does. Like, because if he hadn't have been so supportive at the beginning, I wouldn't have been able to have the freedom to just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
yeah,
I wouldn't have
yeah,
been able
yeah,
to
yeah.
do that. And I think over the last 12 months, definitely, like, obviously me and Ash are like best friends. Like we were
Yeah.
venting to each other 24/7. But there was times where I would just go to bed and like I'd cry and I'd say like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I just don't know how to get out of this.
Mm.
And I think it was only when really me and Ash, like, I think we had this conversation quite a few times, but we just got to the point where we were like, we've just got to, there's no plan B.
Mm.
Nobody's going to hire us. We're unemployable. We've just got to get a grip.
Yeah.
And it was mad because we were working at the Hilton last month, I think it was, and we were going back over the last 12 months. And to look at like the numbers was scary, thinking, how the fuck did we keep those lights on?
Yeah.
But we did. It's like we did. And that kind of pivot again, like I said before, like transition into that really focusing and double down on
Correct.
people and personal PR is where it clicked.
But
And we were like, stop trying to like do everything. Let's
Yeah.
just do something and do it good.
But
Mm.
you have to have them moments.
Yeah.
You
It was-
can't
yeah.
have the success without the moments of, oh shit.
Oh yeah. It was bad.
Because otherwise, no one wins anything from being perfect all the time.
No.
There's no football player in the world that has gone on to win World Cups without being beaten in more fights. Like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
He says, I've lost more finals than I've won.
Yeah. And
But he's classed as the greatest player, one of them of all time.
yeah.
So, yeah, for me, I'm grateful for every moment of every setback, of every time I thought this is going to fall apart.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling for me was watching Sean go through it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but 8th of September last year, I did contemplate suicide and
Yeah.
I found myself on the phone to the Samaritans. And that's been the biggest wake up call I think I've ever had in my life, was where I actually said, like you, about boundaries.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not going to try and please everyone. I'm not going to put my wife and child as the second. They're going to have the best version of me every time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it seemed like last year was an absolute bastard for a lot of people.
It was. And like you're saying about like prioritizing things, I know it sounds really silly, but I am obsessed with like reading now. Like that is my like safe space. But last year, I think it was January, I turned around and I was like, I love reading. I've not read a fucking book since I started this business. The only book I read was Stephen Bartlett's Overseer.
Yeah,
And I thought, that can't be the only book I've read in 5 years. It can't.
I love it. We've got books upstairs. I'm desperate. I've just finished Let Them. I love it. And honestly, I think is that if you're going through a tough time, that is the book to read.
Yeah, she gets a lot of hate, but actually that was the first book I read last January because I said I'm going to read one a month.
Yeah.
And now I'm probably on one a week. And it's not business books. Mel Robbins was the only one that was probably a businessy one. It's not. It's like I read thrillers. I read anything that is like, I don't need romance. I don't need that shit. But like anything that's like sci-fi romance, like it's just not for me.
Yeah.
But any like thriller, if you're getting murdered, if there's a mystery.
James Patterson.
I used to read his on holiday, but now I'm a Frida McFadden, C.L. Taylor, just all like any thrillers and get my hand on, I love. And it's come, I want to say like a bit of an addiction, but a healthy one. It's like, there's a library like 300 yards from my house.
Yeah.
So like, I'm on first name terms now with the girl in the library. She saves the books that she thinks I love. Like, it's great. But honestly, and I'm not embarrassed. Like, that is such a happy part of my life.
But
now.
that is a credit. So we're talking about quality of people and people paying attention and looking at people's results. She now knows your type of thing because she's listening all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I went in on Saturday with 3 of them. She goes, "Oh my gosh, have you read them yet?" I said, "Yeah." I said, and I did laugh. I said, "Yeah, I've read 2," and I realised they've already bought the other one. It's at the bottom of the bookshelf. So she laughed and she's like, "So what are you going for this week?" Brought her 3 more back, and it's just nice. And it's like it's something that has become so part of my like habits that keep me functional away from work. I think it's intentional that I don't read these business books. Not saying I won't ever again. I've got the Emma Grede one. I love her. I will read that. I've got, Steph Sword-Williams, Her Career Come Down. I've started that. Love it. But in terms of like prioritizing and like escaping my work brains, like that's not.
Do you know what? I'm with you on this. So I've got a couple of books that are like my Bibles. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale
I've got
Carnegie.
that. You told me about that one.
It's the greatest book that I think I've ever read because it's not a business book. It's just about how you better yourself. Dale Carnegie, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
Very old, but brilliant. I take that on holiday with me.
Yeah.
There's Paul Cheatham Clark's Taking Care of Business.
Yeah.
That's another book I won't read. And then the other one, weirdly, is a book called The Jaws Log. You know the film Jaws?
Yeah.
If you ever want to realize how tough life can get, read the log. because I'm telling you now, you'll read it and go, fuck me, this wasn't just about a big super plastic shark. There was
Yeah.
so much that went into it. So there's books like that. But then at the same time, I do feel like when I read certain business books, it puts me, it's weird to say this. I feel like shit. I've not been doing this right. Like, I don't want to get political, but like James Watt,
Brewdog.
Brewdog,
Yeah.
I couldn't read it because the second I got into one of the chapters, I was like, you're making me feel fucking pissed off.
I think there's like definitely something, and I've talked about this before. It's like learning to block out that noise. And I think that's why I don't read a lot of these
Mm.
business books, because there are so many opinions
Correct.
flying at me all the time, whether it's online, Instagram, TikTok, courses I'm being sold. I'm just like, oh my God, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like the biggest thing I've ever done is trust my gut. And the biggest time that it's fucked up or where I've really felt like shit about things is when I didn't trust my gut. And I think I'm going to trust myself
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Ash, obviously,
Yeah.
like over the course of the next few years. Not saying I'm not going to ask for help for things, because I do ask for help for things now, and we know what we can do and what we can't. But I'm not going to be buying every single business book that comes out and not listening to every single guru about things,
Yeah.
because I can't. The mental overload for it. There was only so much space I've got in my brain,
Mm.
and not everybody telling you something is right.
Yeah.
Not everything's right for you, for your business. Like
Yeah.
they're not in it. They're not living it.
Yeah, and that saying about reading the book a week, I would give anything to be able to do that. But when I've got a 1-year-old who just fucking crawls everywhere, and then
Yeah.
I've got a 10-year-old who wants my attention, I'm lucky if I get a page a week. But I
think
do
you need like
try.
an audio book. You're for reading real.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I've done. I've got 2 of them. I've not even listened to yet.
Yeah.
But no, it's good, and I think people need to listen to that. I think that's because self-care.
Yeah.
As a business owner, like I go to the gym in the morning, and
Mhm.
that helps my brain. Like with having ADHD, it helps me put everything into like sections.
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
you- do you-
it just sets the day off right. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, try and wrap things up. But I want to know quickly, like, what's the plans for Moda in the next couple of years? What are you looking to do?
World domination.
World domination. And
No,
it-
I mean, listen, we do work with US partners at the moment that are amazing. I
Mm.
think for us, I think we definitely like to explore that further, because the US is such a great market for us.
Is there more
There's-
opportunity over there than there is here?
I wouldn't necessarily say more opportunity. I'd say there's definitely a big budget,
Mm.
and I think that's no word of a lie. Like the UK budgets compared to what people pay for PR in the US is very different,
Mm.
and that's just the way it is, and it's unfortunate.
Mm.
but yeah, I think the US is definitely a market.
Would you see yourself moving over there?
I wouldn't necessarily say moving over there permanently at this point. I think we're quite happy going back and forth. You know,
I would be fucking
yeah, we're going in September. We tend to do it in a bulk, so we'll like do like New York and then come back do it. But this time we're doing New York and LA, because
Wow.
we've got partners that we can speak to in both cities, and
Mhm.
nice little trip out. But
Well, look, I'm free in September.
if we need anyone to carry the bags, yeah.
Do you know what? I've always wanted to do that. Never give myself a
Yeah.
chance. No, I think it's incredible what you two have built. I think you're a credit to co-founders, and I'm not just saying that because I've had the pleasure of working with you. I've had the pleasure of watching your business grow. I've also had the pleasure of you being a friend. So when I've had tough times, I've been able to call you. We just had rants, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's been nice.
3-minute long voice note.
3-minute long voice notes. That is the way forward, I'm telling you. What advice would you give to anyone? So let's say I come to you, you hear this, and I think I want to go into PR.
Mhm.
What's the biggest piece of advice you're going to give me?
Buckle up. And I say that being honest, like I do. And I think it depends what you want to do in PR. If you want to be working in a PR agency and
Mm.
you want to, be the day to day, then that's fine. But I
Mm.
think if you want to be a PR agency or PR founder, I think you've got to be prepared that you're going to be mentally on a lot.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. You're dealing with an active news media cycle
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the time. But I love it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't do anything, and I don't think I really could do anything else at this
Yeah,
point. I think even if I tried not to, the skills that I have and everything that I would try and do would still bring me back to PR. But yeah, I'd say
Would you say
don't
that
be
book?
naive.
Yeah.
Don't be naive to think that it's not hard work, because it is. But the rewards.
Hard work and reward, isn't it?
That's it. And I think it depends if you want to run your own business. it's the same across the board. Buckle up.
Yeah, someone said to me, what advice would you give me for starting up a business? I don't. So
Yeah.
just fucking don't.
Run.
I don't run.
Run.
No, it makes me laugh when people go, "You're smashing it. You're
Oh, those
smashing it.
3 words I
You're
hate.
I'm smashing my head against the
Yeah.
fucking brick wall every single night because either someone's not paid
Yeah.
or someone's told me they're going to start and they haven't, or someone's done this or someone's done that. But then social media is fantastic for showing people what they want to see.
Yeah.
But
It
no one
is.
sees the sleepless nights and the tears and
It
until
is.
they do it themselves.
But I think another piece of advice as well, something that I've definitely had to learn, and I'm still learning, is patience.
Mm,
Like, you've got to be patient that,
mm,
and however woo-woo it sounds, like, whatever's meant to be for you
mm,
is gonna be. And I think put in the hard work, be a decent person, don't be an
mm.
arsehole, and just be patient that it's all gonna work out. And obviously do the fucking work as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
don't rely on the fact that everything happens for a reason. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it happens when you, like
Well,
Kim K said, get off your ass and work.
yeah.
But be patient that if you're putting in the good work and you know, we've been going 5, 6 years. We're up against agencies that have been going 15. Like, sometimes it's so easy to compare yourself
Mm,
to people and look
mm,
at like their journeys or look at where they are, look
mm.
at the clients they're getting and think, why isn't it me?
Yeah.
And it's like,
But it's like,
it's shit, but
it's like, what is it? Um, FIFA the joy of comparison or something like
oh,
that. Yeah.
FIFA's the comparison.
Yeah.
Comparison is the thief of
FIFA joy,
joy.
that's it.
Yeah.
It's like when I told people about this, they said, "Are you going to record it?" It's on my phone.
Yeah.
And you could see people going, I was like, well, I've got to start somewhere. And I've been guilty in the past of running and just fucking running into the fire and then going, why did I do that?
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. If you start comparing yourself to everyone else, you just take away your own happiness, don't you?
Yeah, you
You
do.
just end up, all it does is it chews into what you could be doing. Like I've learned now that, well, if I can't control it, I can't fucking control it.
Mm.
But what is the point in getting stressed? Of course, I say all this. I'm probably the most stressed person in the fucking world. Like I lose my shit about 7 times a day. And Sean, look at me and be like, you've literally just been on there and told everyone to be dead calm.
But I think as well, there's definitely something, and me and Ash certainly do it, is like curating your own happiness. Like,
Yeah,
if there's people like, say, on your socials or things that is going to make you feel like shit about yourself,
yeah.
then don't follow them. You're an adult.
Yeah,
It's your
100%.
responsibility. Like, be responsible for your own happiness.
Yeah.
Like, and don't let anybody else control that.
Yeah. And we've had it before where I've said to Sean, oh, shit, I should post this. And she's like, fucking just post it.
Just post it, as
Just
Amelia
fucking,
said.
just
Yeah.
post it. Like, just get on with it and be happy.
Yeah.
I
Just
suppose.
do it. Like,
Yeah.
don't be naive, but just start and do it.
Well, I heard someone say something once, if nothing changes, then nothing changes.
I think
And-
that actually works.
No, don't give it too much credit. No. Right. So thank you very much for coming on board. I will get Ash, who's literally sat over there.
Ash's cameraman
She's
today.
my little cameraman. I am going to get Ash on here soon because I want to hear from her side of it as well.
Yeah.
Because I've known you. I want to hear Ash because she's, and if anyone's listening to this, please follow the guys on their socials, on LinkedIn, at Moda-PR. They are fantastic. And if you're looking for a really good PR company, I would, no disrespect to anyone I know who's got one, but I wouldn't recommend anyone else personally.
If they would come to me with 500 quid, I can't help you.
Well, I've actually got a question. I've got a question for you after this. No, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. We'll see you soon, and hopefully I might even be able to get Jen to co-host an episode with me in the future. Would you be up for that? Would you?
Just get the beers out.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
there's loads of beers in there, mate, and the rum. No, right, guys, we'll be back very soon for another episode. Feel free to follow us at Business Life and Other Bollocks. And yeah, Jen, thank you very much for coming on board.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. All right. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.